Okay, we are live now. So,
Finally.
yes, Alex, nice to see you again, that part of the screen. So, today, new webinar, new topic about founder mistakes with customer success. But maybe we should start with the introduction. We know each other, maybe other people don't know us. So, please, Alex, tell me about yourself.
Happy to start. So a few words about myself. First of all, hi everybody. My name is Alex. I'm a customer success lead at Anibis. For those who don't know what Anibis is an AI SDR. We help companies scale their outbound with totally scalable outbound AI-powered solutions, automated outreach across email, LinkedIn, and phone calls, and even more than that.
Nice. And my name is Elena. I'm customer success lead at Warme. Basically, email deliverability and warm-up tool to make sure that your emails go actually to the primary inbox and not to spam. And today's session is probably you guessed from us being two customer success leads is about the biggest mistakes that founders make in customer success. And some of those mistakes can cause a lot of upsells, can cause a lot of renewals, and basically be the cause of the churn.
Indeed, and that's relevant for like quite wide range of people, whether you're a founder, a CSM, or even a project manager that's leading a team, leading product to market. There are plenty of mistakes you can make, and right now we're going to share some real world examples of based on our experience of working with dozens and dozens, potentially even hundreds of customers now. Examples of how things can go south and how you can prevent that.
Yeah.
All right, so I think it's a good time to change the slide. Oh, I missed that slide with our nice pictures.
I know it's the cat. I love it.
Thank you.
It's beauty.
Okay, mistake number one. I'll start with this one. So, seen this many times. Basically, it happens especially often when, let's say, the team is led by somebody who's technical, whether it's a founder or a director, and basically they overlook the role of customer success. So they commonly confuse it with customer support, because customer support is reactive, customer success is reactive, and basically they end up doing simply the support of reacting to tickets, to complaints, to problems, while customer success, it's about looking for problem before it actually happens. It's about being proactive, and you just cannot believe how many companies are missing that.
Yeah, that's true. And for example, at Warme, as I mentioned, it's deliverability warm-up tool, so sounds pretty straightforward. And one of the biggest mistakes that I see across like customer success managers and that I'm trying to teach people is try to tie this fact that you know about Warme to the business goal of the client. Because obviously, if the dashboard shows really good deliverability, okay, nice, we've done our job, we delivered the emails to the inbox. But in reality, it's more than that. It's building the pipeline, is making sure that real data is clicking, just making sure that people are getting replies. I don't know, like basically it's tying to the business goal of the client and not just making sure that Google Postmaster reputation is high or on paper deliverability looks good. Because in this case, you're basically just leaving money on the table, because clients, they won't care if your dashboard is green. If they're not generating pipeline, they won't stay with you. And
Absolutely.
yeah, it's basically, yeah. And this kind of leads to the second mistake. What I've seen, probably not in Warme, but just generally by talking to other people and from previous company, is that usually people treat onboarding really well. Again, there can be some things to be improved. In some cases, that it can be treated as checklist, but basically, usually onboarding is the strongest part of the success team. But then people just leave the client. And Alex, as you said previously, success is about being proactive and not reactive. Usually success leaves the client after the onboarding just on its own. So this is probably a really big thing that I think is causing a lot of churn.
Well, I would probably elaborate in that. First of all, I'm partially disagreeing with you on what you just said about onboarding being the most important part. It is extremely important, but from my experience, people don't churn on onboarding. People churn
Afterwards,
after that.
yeah.
So after post-onboarding engagement, post-onboarding time, that is the most important time, because everybody's happy on the onboarding. They're excited about the product, but they see no results. They have no understanding how this thing works to the full extent. They haven't given it a try, and actually, you may have just the nicest onboarding. You can take your customer to a restaurant, eat lobsters with them, but after 2 or 3 months, they'll see no result, they'll see no support, they'll leave you. In the other hand, actually, I have not taken a single customer of mine to restaurant, fancy restaurant with lobsters.
Not yet.
Unfortunately, not yet. At the same time, I can tell you that basically being there for your customers, asking them even when they don't really want to hear from you. Sometimes I might be too persistent, but I'm never, almost never, and I work on that, but I'm never missing, a chance to ask customers how they feel, how they feel about the results, how they think about a particular part of a platform, anything. And that is what helping me to prevent churn.
Yeah, 100%. And what you've just said really ties to the next point, is about ignoring customer feedback. Like something that I had to learn over time with experience by getting older as a customer success, is asking for the feedback and asking how clients feel, if we've met their expectations, etc. Because just literally right now, like 30 minutes before that, I had a call with the client, and the client was like, yeah, like everything's good, I love the product. But then I've asked him, like, how do you feel about it? Did we meet your expectations? And he said, yeah, it was good, but there's some things that you can improve. There's some things that communication can be improved on, or like something in the product. And he gave me really, really valuable feedback. And I've noticed a lot of times that clients give this feedback and it's getting ignored. So basically customer feedback is gold. Listen to that. Like, this is something that will be bringing you money, will be bringing you opportunities, and basically a happy client, happy you.
Yep, that's true. And I feel like this problem mostly relies to founders, because essentially they're the ones that are making final decisions about the product. And basically many of my customers, I was talking to them about their products. There are just enormous amount of people who spoke with. And I can see that plenty of business owners have this belief that their vision is, it's perfect. They got the idea of what the product should be, and they are not really trying to rely on the customer's feedback. While I know, let's say the CEO of NVIDIA, he said that, like, in NVIDIA, we didn't give a think about what our customer thinking. We decided they would think, but let's be honest, not everybody's NVIDIA. We live in a world where only 4% of startups make it. And actually listening to your customers, they didn't like something about product, okay, you know what to fix. They don't like something about the outcomes, okay, you know how to address the processes. Just by talking to your customers, I can tell, if you're not doing that right now, just try doing that. Try doing that for 1 year and check how your average user lifespan will change over the year, even over the half a year. Check how your churn rate will change. And I'm telling you, you'll be very surprised about the outcomes.
Yeah, 100%. Another thing that, it's not that I'm noticing it, I've been part of this mistake and probably still am, but this is something that I'm trying to overcome with my team, is putting too much on the customer success plates, because customer success has to be clearly defined role. It's person who is responsible for adoption, who handles customers, basically making them happy, who helps with the upsells, cross-sells, etc. But again, I'm doing this mistake as well, is that I'm trying to put too many things on my team, basically handling like support tickets, handling sales process sometimes when it has to be account executives doing that. And it's really honest and easy mistake, especially when you're not that large of a company and you cannot allow yourself to get or waste a lot of resources on that. But in the long run, when your customer success manager is burnt out, it's going to cost you more money in the long run.
Totally can relate to that. And as I say, been there, done that. I'm going through this with my team. Basically, as we are growing really fast, and I love it. And basically, growing means that your environment changes all the time. The number of your customers, the scope of work, the number of things you deal with, it changes all the time. And obviously, unwillingly, you end up with just delegating all this, new responsibilities, new tasks, just to different people. And sometimes you need to take a step back and have a look, okay, that's how much of different tasks that person is doing. So that person, let's say, you're responsible for payments, onboarding, managing strategy, reviewing some technical aspects. At some point, you just start asking, God, when does that person even sleep? And if you realize that, that's a pretty good moment for you to take a sit and write down all the things your team is doing and try to rearrange them the way that people can manage it. Because like Alina said, like you said, if your customer success burns out, it's gonna cost you more money.
Yep.
You're not going to be able to find a replacement that's fast, as fast as you would potentially lose your customer that person was managing. It will cost you more, and thankfully, it's not a rocket science to prevent that. Obviously, we will keep making that mistakes, but it would be better if we'll be making smaller mistakes than bigger, if we'll be addressing this, at least on a monthly basis, reviewing the scope of your team works, reviewing all the things you're doing. And if you keep a track of that basically would help me. Basically, I just take a sit once a month, write down all the things that everybody's doing, and then I see the pressure put on every person. And actually, one more tip from me is that basically all the people are different, and some people have strong sides in different aspects. So what can also help you in this case is addressing certain tasks to those that are more comfortable to deal with them. So you have a CSM that is happier to do some technical stuff, they're inclined to technical stuff. Okay, let's delegate something technical to them. You have somebody who's actually just in love with all the customers and can talk for hours. Okay, send this person to cover up some extra calls when somebody goes on vacation. You get the idea. If you manage tasks, delegate them properly, you can effectively lower the pressure.
Yeah, like you have to be really smart about it. And again, resources always limited. It's only 24 hours in one day, unfortunately. So yeah, you just have to be smart about it and just care about your team, because if something happens to the customer success manager, if they're unhappy, clients won't be happy either. Like clients can feel that. So 100% invest into that. And another mistake, I feel like it's really basic thing, something that I really shouldn't mention, but probably should at the same time, because it's so important, is you have to utilize AI to enhance customer success processes, and not just customer success processes, but everything related to the company. So for example, I'm really proud of Wormy team because we get so much data about deliverability rates, about opens, about clicks, patterns over the sending, etc. And we gather all of this data and our platform learns from it. At the same time, we have Adeline, basically AI helper for the support team, who helps to answer a lot of technical questions or just questions in general. And the world is moving to automation, to less manual things. So please just use AI for that. It can spare you so much time, and kind of ties back to the thing that we've discussed before that about powering the customer success teams. Like there's so many things that can be delegated to machines. So I feel like it's wasteful to ask people do all of those stuff.
And I'll probably loop back to the past question and I'll connect it to this one. We were talking about responsibilities and how to lower pressure. One of probably best ways to lower the pressure, and what I just said, you can make a list of all the responsibilities, and I bet that your CSM team, your customer success team, will have a plenty of manual tasks besides just meeting customers and talking to them. I guarantee that. Checking some reports, generating these reports, collecting data, reviewing customers, reviewing calls, recording things, making notes, you name it. And these manual tasks are the perfect targets for AI automation. I can tell you if you make a list of these things and start Googling, I can tell you that there's a BI that can handle each and every of them.
Yep.
I love all these AI-based note takers that save me enormous amount of time on recalling, the past content of the meeting. It's cool that it can record, but it's even cool that it can make a breakdown, it can make a summary, smart summary. I'm not talking about, just a transcript. A good summary. When you have 15 calls a day and you don't really have time to read for 15 minutes every call, you need to quickly recall, okay, what happened. You look up that summary, you get the gist of that past conversation, you know what to do now. And there are much more examples to that. Just my conclusion is that There are already plenty of tools on the market. They're not expensive. The market is competitive. There are more tools emerging on the market that are making even things cheaper. Don't be lazy. Just go and buy a few licenses.
Yeah, just like test a couple of tools. Like as you said, there's so many tools like that on the market. You definitely will find something that works for you. And again, if you can automate something, just do that. It's as simple as it is. So yeah, I think like this is kind of it in terms of the mistakes. Like again, with those webinars and really similar to the one that we had before, like all of those things, they are so basic and they are so obvious, but at the same time, I'm kind of feeling that I'm doing these mistakes. Although I've been in customer success for like 7 years, I know people who've been in customer success for 10 years and they still do those mistakes. So yeah, Alex, maybe you want to kind of wrap up and highlight all of the things that we've talked about.
Yeah, let's do that. So I actually had a slide for that particular reason. So let's quickly align and wrap up all the items we just discussed. So first of all, align your customer success strategy with your business goals, with not your but your customers. You just keep this in mind. You have to, make sure to engage with your customer after you onboarded them, because that, post-onboarding time is when the churn happens, not during the onboarding. Third item is leverage customer feedback. Actually, don't ignore it, please. I believe that's obvious for anybody, but I still see people missing that. So please just...
I'm doing that like all the time just because like it's really easy to say it, but it's difficult to be actionable about it.
Oh, in a way, I don't feel like I'm doing that, but maybe I'm just not into enough. Still, you have to take care of that. Just don't forget to collect feedback of your customers. Number 4, define clear roles for your CSMs. Well, if your CSM will burn out, it will cost you more money, and there are many ways to prevent it. And last but not least, start integrating AI into your customer success processes. There are tons of different cost-effective, affordable, very nice, user-friendly tools dedicated to all of your problems. And there are so many of them that it's just stupid. Pardon, but that's stupid to not use that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and like if you're a founder or a customer success manager or maybe a support who wants to grow into customer success, just take a couple of minutes to reflect and think if you're doing those mistakes, and if yes, how can you fix it for yourself, for your product, for your company, to make sure that tomorrow's conversation with clients are going to be more productive, they're going to be better, and in the end, it's going to drive revenue for yourself and for the client's company.
Amen.
Amen to that. And a quick advertisement minute just to talk about AnyBiz and about Warmi. Alex, you as the AnyBiz guru, tell us.
So, what's AnyBiz? For those who don't know, AnyBiz is an SDR. Its purpose is to eventually replace at least half of the SDRs, or maybe eventually all of them on the market. Indeed, it is. Well, you can't go anywhere without AI now. And it can do email outreach, we can do LinkedIn outreach, and we can even do cold calls. So our AI is trained to handle each of these channels. And on top of that, it is handling everything automatically, starting from message crafting to target crafting to database. Basically, when you come to AnyBiz, all you have to do is simply tell AI what you do. That's it. No need to bring over your templates. No need to bring over your own domains mailboxes. You get a full AI SDR, and it's perfect for those who especially have very little experience in sales and don't know what to do. AnyBiz already knows that for you. Alina, now that's your turn.
Okay, perfect. AnyBiz sounds amazing. I actually do have a couple of clients who are using you guys and they're really happy. So well done and a great job. In terms of Warmi, it's as simple as it is. It's an email deliverability tool. We help for emails to go to the inbox and not land in spam or land into promotions. So basically, if you're sending emails, whether it's cold emails, whether it's webinar invitations, whether it's newsletters, you probably have been struggling with deliverability. I know that a lot of providers have been horrible in the past couple years, I would say, not even months. So this is what we help with. And I know that it sounds really easy on paper. In reality, it is more difficult, more complicated, but you always will get a person who'll help you to build the strategy, who'll help you to answer all of the technical questions. So yeah, if you feel like you're in a need or just curious, just send us a message and we'll be really happy to chat with you.
I'll probably add a comment here. My personal use case, since I've been using WordMe, I have friends who are using WordMe, I have customers who are using WordMe. WordMe is great. And here's one thing for those who are watching this to know about WordMe. Outlook and G Suite, they're making this nasty updates 2 times a year, and it just hits you hard. I have some friends who are not using WordMe. They use some competitors whom I will not name because we are good people. But as far as I know, it's been 5 weeks since they've been in spam, and they're still figuring out what do they do, how they actually start landing. With WordMe, that actually happened 2.5 weeks. So what if not that is the best example that this tool is working. It is actually proven. It has its own research team. I don't know what these guys are doing. They probably have some wizards over there, but I can see that there are so many tools out there, and I just see people switching to WordMe more and more.
Thank you, Alex. Love it. Definitely. Both teams, Anybase, WordMe, are doing amazing things. So again, if you feel like you're struggling, whether it's with cold outreach and you need to delegate it to the right person, or whether it's email marketing and you need extra help with that, we're always here. So send us a message. You can reach out to us on LinkedIn. You can go to the company profile. You can use the chat support, whatever. We're always here to help you. And thank you so much for attending the webinar.
Thank you. It was very nice to talk.
All right. See you next time.
See ya.
Bye.